Now we will start exercise 13.2. We'll start with the first question. What first question says is, which of the following are in inverse proportion? He is asking from this which are in inverse proportion. First, what we need to understand, what is the inverse proportion? What is the definition of inverse proportion? Two quantities are changing in such a manner that if one quantity is increasing, the other quantity is decreasing, and vice versa. If one quantity is increasing, the other quantity should decrease. Or if one quantity is decreasing, then the other quantity should increase. If such proportionation is there, then we will call it as inverse proportion. Now check it out whether any one is having in that proportion. Let us start with the first one. The number of workers on a job. Number of workers and time to complete the job. Now, certain workers will be there, to complete certain time will be taken. Now, if one quantity is increased, that is, if number of workers are increased, then time will increase or decrease to complete the job. If number of workers are increased, then definitely the time will decrease to complete a job. So this is an inverse proportion. The first one, yes, this is in inverse proportion. This is in inverse proportion, isn't it? Now let us see the second one. The time taken for journey and the time taken for journey and the distance traveled in uniform speed. The time taken and the distance. Say, if distance is increased, then time will increase or decrease? It will increase. If distance is increased, then time will increase. If it is taking more time, then that means the distance will be more. So if one is increasing, the other is also increasing. So that is in direct proportion, that is not in inverse proportion. So no, so this is no. Then third one, area of cultivated land and the crop harvested. One field is there, agriculture is going on, and area of cultivated land. Some field is cultivating, that area is taken, area and the crop harvested. If area is increased, then crop will increase, isn't it? If the area is more, then the crop will be more. So this is in direct proportion. This is also not in indirect proportion. Next, fourth one. The time taken for a fixed journey and the speed of the vehicle. So if one parameter is increased, then what happens to the other parameter? If the speed is increased, then what about the time taken for a journey? If speed is increased, then the time taken for journey will be decreasing. If the time given to complete the journey is increased, then I will go with less speed. So this is in inverse proportion. If one is increasing, then the other is decreasing. So this is in inverse proportion. Next, fifth one. The population of country and the area of land per person. So this is a country. In that, some population are there. The population and the area of land per person. So 6 persons are there. What happens? Each person will get, say, this much of space. This much of space each person will get. Now, if number of persons are increased, then what is going to happen? The area for each person will decrease, isn't it? If more number of persons are there, if the number of persons or population is increased, then land per person will decrease. So if one quantity is increasing, then the other quantity is decreasing. So it is in inverse proportion. So here the whole concept is we have to understand if one quantity is increasing, then how it is affecting the other quantity. If one quantity is increasing, the other quantity is decreasing, then that is an inverse proportion. Like that we will be doing these questions.